Your biggest problem, your biggest issue is you're number 2 for the longest time. And sometimes competition for number 1, Steve Harper looks like you. So sometimes you're thinking, oh, Shay Given just let in that goal. Is that Shay?
It wasn't me.
Or is that Steve?
It wasn't me. It was funny because yesterday I spoke to Bobby Zamora and yourself for dinner last night. And there was a goal because recently Xavi Alonso, brought his team back to Liverpool in the Champions League. And this goal was shown again, the goalkeeper conceding a goal at Newcastle. And he scores from his own half. I don't know if you remember, he hit it.
Yep.
And I think Steve didn't get his feet right and he sort of fell over and he slips or whatever it was and went into the net. I've got people texting me, oh, is that you? Or what were you doing there? Or something. I was like, text back, that's not me.
Yeah.
And we got a taxi today from the shopping mall back to the hotel. And the taxi driver recognised us both, me and Bobby in the back of the car. And he goes, oh, you, Alonso, go from halfway line. That's what he said to me.
You see?
It was like, that wasn't me. And he started laughing. I think he didn't realise it was Steve, but at the same time, sometimes as a goalkeeper, you're remembered more for goals you conceded or a mistake than actually some great saves. It's part and parcel of being a goalkeeper. I think you have to have a laugh, I think, after.
I think you overcame any sort of recollection of that because of your stellar career. Because when I think of other keepers, Taibbi, Massimo Taibbi,
Man United,
you don't think of saves of him. You think
of
it.
That one goal, through his legs. And
exactly.
Crosses the line, Matt Letizia, I think, was the strike.
Was it
strike? It was
the strike.
Shot, wasn't it?
It was just trickling towards him straight. So
crazy.
I think you've gone beyond that.
Yeah,
although
I hope so.
Dion Dublin's name does pop into
Dion Dublin gets a mention as well everywhere I go. And I was at a charity event recently. He was sitting in the same table as me. So I think we've done a mock-up picture. He was behind me. For anyone who didn't see that, he sneaked up behind me and I threw the ball out with the 6-second rule came into play and he sneaked off the advertising boards and nipped up and scored. And obviously the joke since that is the only Irishman not to know where Dublin is. So I have to laugh it off through gritted teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, very funny.
I have to say, no one ever talks about what a great cross collection it was.
I know, and sometimes even the editors or the guys, they don't even show me taking the cross. They just show me like throwing it out.
Yeah.
But I explain it really well because I say it was an unbelievable cross, probably one of the crosses I've took of my whole career because there was bodies and I didn't even realise it was challenging behind.
You were flying through the air, arching.
And also the new rule came out, and the referees are really strict on the new rule. That was the first time the 6-second rule came out. So you had to do it because they would blow you up. It was the start of that rule. Like any rule, the referees are on it. I looked up, Alan Shearer didn't move as per normal. He was very... Static. And so I had the option of just kicking it down the pitch to no one or rolling it out. But obviously the fatal error that I made, I didn't look behind me. And Dion Dublin's momentum took him off the pitch and he just sat on the advertising board like this.
Yeah.
And then he's seen me roll it out and I've never seen him move so quick. And he's popped up behind me. So yeah, I mean, Kenny Dalglish was raging.
Because wasn't that your first, it was very early on, it was around 97.
Yeah, it was my early part of my career. But Rob Lee scored a great goal that day. I think we drew 2-2 at Coventry it was. And Rob Lee scored a great equaliser. And he still reminds me to this day. He says, remember I got you out of the...
That's true.
Out of the mucky stuff that day to rescue a point.
Because that's what I remember that from you. But when you think of bizarre goals that you've seen in your time, that one would be there. Taibbi would be there. Gary Sprake, I don't know if you remember this from the 60s. He's a Leeds keeper. He threw
I remember the name, but I don't... Oh, I think I do remember. He went to throw it out, didn't he? Threw it into his own net. Yeah, that's right. He literally
throws it into his own net. And I'm just
thinking,
good. How does that happen?
No. It's mad. I've made mistakes. Obviously, in my career, I made some saves, but it's amazing. You are sometimes remembered for the bad times as much, and sometimes you remember the bad times more than the good times and the great saves, But again, that's part and parcel of being a goalkeeper. I think what goes on between your ears, I think the mental side of the game, I think gets overlooked at times, especially from a goalkeeping position, because I think that the Dublin goal happened quite early in the game, and you've got the rest of the game to stay focused for the next shot or the next cross or the next save. So I think for young people, it's sometimes they don't understand it. It's about having the sort of right mechanisms and the right sort of ways of dealing with the mental side of the game as much as anything when you're a goalkeeper.
Well, fortunately, they say us goalkeepers don't have much between our ears, and that's why we play in goal in the first place.